You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. Belinda from Soap Dirt with your early weekly spoilers for Monday, May 27th through Friday, May 31st. The jig is up for Victor, and Ashley is at rock bottom. We're talking a full and complete breakdown. We are going to unpack all of these early spoilers for you, but if you have not, please reach down and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our updates. And if you are a regular listener and viewer here, you know that on early edition days, we always talk about what's happening the rest of the week, just to give you some context and set you up for what's happening next week. So on Wednesday, May 22nd, we have got Cole down in the basement finding Jordan, who's asleep, and she wakes up and she begs him to let her out. And he physically can't because he doesn't have the key, but also he doesn't trust her and he knows how dangerous she is. He goes out to lunch with Claire and Victoria, doesn't tell them what he found. He doesn't tell Victor what he found, but he does call Michael Baldwin and asks for a face-to-face meeting that is going to happen later this week. Nate and Audra have a nice little ice cream date in the park on Wednesday. It goes well. There's romantic chatter. There's some banter. There's each other kind of lightly dissing the other's past romantic mistakes. I like their vibe a whole lot. Jack runs into Devon at Crimson Lights, and he really encourages him to work things out with Billy and not have a war over at Chancellor Winters. And Jack is very surprised to hear about Billy and Jill trying to put the Abbott name into the company name. And he's very surprised by all this, but at the same time, not so surprised because Jack knows how his brother operates. Tucker meets the alter Ms. Abbott in the jazz lounge. She had this big plan to attack him, but then she's not able to get him to do what she wants. And then the other alters are struggling. And it seems like it's just too much for her brain. And Ashley collapses. And at the same time, over at the Abbott mansion, Dr. Alan Laurent, I guess former psychiatrist, talks to Jack and Traci. And he tells them that Ashley has a serious psychological disorder. And this is not simply from a breakup of her marriage with Tucker. It is some sort of deep-seated trauma that he says needs to be addressed. And Lily and Devon again fuss at Nate for seeing that he's out with Audra. Lily runs into them and gets a glimpse. She doesn't like it. Neither of them like it. Nate tells them to chill out. Thursday, May 23rd on Young and the Restless, Nikki Newman is home from rehab. Puts her little suitcase down. She's so excited to see her hubby. He's nowhere in sight because he looks like he's down in the basement tormenting Jordan again. Victor figures out that Jordan is trying to escape. I don't think he knows that Cole has been down there at that point, but he can see that Jordan's really pepped up and thinks she has some way out, but I think she's going to keep quiet about her nephew finding her. And Jack and Traci discuss how serious they need to be and that they need to get Ashley the help she needs. They're going to talk more with Laurent, and it definitely looks like they are going to have to commit her, whether she likes it or not. And I'm guessing Tucker McCall is probably going to reach out to them and tell them that Ashley collapsed in his arms and what's going on. That takes us to the last day of the week, Cliffhanger Friday, May 24th. And Claire again talks to Summer Newman. You know, she turned down the job being Harrison's nanny out of respect for Summer since Summer wasn't on board with it. But Claire does want Summer to give her a chance. Just let her prove herself. We'll see how it goes. And Victor gets some visitors that he wasn't expecting. I think that Cole is going to meet with Michael, tell Michael that Victor's got Jordan. That's going to make perfect sense to Michael because he also has suspected for quite a while that Victor has been lying and hiding something. Now, I don't know if they pull Nikki into this or not, but Cole has a tough decision to make on Friday. And I think it's, call the cops, tell Victoria and Claire, tell Nikki if she doesn't know by then. This is a very hard spot. I mean, his ex-father-in-law has his aunt, locked in a cell. You can't just let that go, right? It's messy family stuff. Early weekly spoilers for May 27th through the 31st. We have Ashley's family taking action. After her collapse, Tucker's there. He's trying to help. And it sounds like they're finally going to see that this is not his fault as much as they don't like him based on what Laurent has said. Jordan's kidnapping by Victor is no longer a secret. Victor is exposed. He is cornered. And of course, he's going to try and convince Michael and Cole to keep this secret. But will they? Can he talk him into it? Jordan's fate unfolds next week. Claire is closer to Kyle while Summer is trying to decide if she can give her another chance. And the big question with Nikki back from rehab is whether she can maintain her sobriety, and will she find out that Jordan is still alive? And if so, will that compromise her sobriety? Because that's a big deal. The ongoing threat of Jordan is a big issue, and that could also come into play with Claire, getting a second chance with Summer, because if Jordan's still around, I think Summer is going to have to say no just out of an abundance of caution. Lily is going to try to trick Billy to get closer to her so that she can turn the tables on him, turn the tables on Jill, and snatch back all the power. Nate and Audra continue to get closer, and the big question is, will they finally do the deed? Maybe. Tucker thinks they already have. She let him think that on purpose, and Nate didn't correct him, I think, because he wants to do the deed with her and wants Tucker out of the way. And it looks like Lily is going to make an offer to Daniel to settle the lawsuit. Before, she was all on fire about he gets nothing, he can't have it. And now it looks like she's maybe going to let him have whatever little piece of the Princess Louisa thing, as long as the main game stays with them. I'm not feeling terribly sorry for Daniel in this at all. He signed a contract, and then with the knowledge of that contract in mind, he went and crawled in bed with somebody else and cheated on the woman who determined the fate of that contract. All he had to do was break up with her first. And none of this would be happening right now, but he couldn't keep it zipped. Still, I think he's going to get away with it. So that is the early spoilers. Later this week, we will have your full roster of daily spoilers for every day next week. So be sure and check back. Drop your comments on what you're excited to see. Definitely subscribe if you haven't, and come back soon. We are here talking Young and the Restless 7 days a week. And as always, I'm your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.